guys, so here I am today with my lovely assistant Evan, and today we're going to show you a very cool looking trick. But before I perform it, I do have to let you guys know that this trick is heavily based off of Misdirection, and this camera angle is pretty terrible for Misdirection, as you guys know. So a lot of you guys will see how the trick is done in this performance, but don't take this as like I'm trying to fool you guys or anything like that. I'm just trying to show you an idea of what the performance looks like. Trust me, if you guys were here in real life, the trick would look a lot better. But this is just to get an idea of the performance, and later I'm going to teach you guys how you can perform this in real life, and the trick will be completely undetectable by spectators. So this is what the trick looks like over here. So Evan, I have the deck of cards. We can go ahead and shuffle it up as much as you'd like me to, and go ahead and just name any number between 10 and 25, and that's how many cards we're going to use. 16 cards. We're going to take 16 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 cards over here. I want you to take these cards and give them a quick mix up, and I'm actually going to turn away for the rest of this part of the trick. So once you're done mixing them up, Evan, what I want you to do is I want you to just spread out the cards face down in your hand. And once you've done that, I want you to remove anyone that you want, all right? And show it to the camera, and please remember that card yourself as well. And go ahead and just return it into the pack anywhere you want to, and then give it another little mix-up, alright? And just, yeah, mix up the cards as much as you want to. It really does not matter. And once you're done, just leave the pack on the table. Okay, perfect. So, as you guys can see, Evan could have picked any one of these cards, but it honestly didn't even matter. He could have picked any one that he wanted to out of the 16 cards over here. So we're going to go ahead and leave those cards there on the table, and we're actually going to go ahead and leave the rest of the deck inside of the box. And Evan, just go ahead and place your hand on top of the box over here so I cannot touch it in any way. So Evan picked one of these 16 cards over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to snap my fingers, and the card is going to disappear from this path. Boom, just like that. A moment ago, we had 16 cards, but now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 cards. And as you guys can see, the card that Evan picked is no longer in this pack, just because when I snapped my fingers, the card didn't just disappear. It actually jumped from this pack, and it landed inside of the closed deck underneath Evan's hand. What was the card that you picked?
Ace of clubs.
The Ace of Clubs, as you guys can see, has now landed in the middle of the closed deck. Just like that, guys. So that was the performance of the trick, and now for the tutorial. Okay, guys, so here's the tutorial for the trick that you just saw. And I know a lot of you guys right now are probably, you know, kind of like turned off by this trick because you're probably like, wait, that fools people? How's that even possible? It's so obvious to see that packet switch that you did on the table. Like, it's so obvious. Well, I just want you guys to know that this trick is all just misdirection. Like, honestly, this trick cannot exist without misdirection, and it really does work in live performances if you guys know how to perform this right. And trust me, guys, I have fooled people with this trick. This isn't like what people see when I perform the trick. They look back at me, back at the cards, they look back at me, they look back at the cards. And I'm going to show you guys how you can control people to not notice that move right there. So basically the main move of this trick is, yes, that packet switch, but trust me, guys, that move is completely undetectable if you guys use misdirection, alright? So this is the tutorial for the trick right now. So you have a normal deck of cards. The spectator can go ahead and shuffle the deck as much as they want. They're going to hand the deck back to you, and you're going to ask them to name any number between, let's say, 10 and 25. The reason why you do any number between 10 and 25 is just because any number between 10 and 25 is a big enough number so that you can spread it out on the table and it looks like a packet of cards, but you can't exactly, you know, like count every single one without actually looking at it and trying to count. It just looks like a packet of cards, because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be doing a packet switch, and you're going to be switching out the packet of, let's say, 16 cards for a packet of 15 cards. But if you spread out the cards, it really doesn't look like you have done anything different to the cards. So basically, you're going to start out the trick by having them name any number between 10 and 25. To make this easy, let's just do 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So what you're going to do is you're going to hand this pack over to the spectator. So now what they're going to do is they're going to mix up the half as much as they want to. They are going to pick out any card, they're going to remember it, Jack of Clubs, and they're going to lose it somewhere in the pack, and they can go ahead and shuffle the deck as much as they want. So now basically, as you're talking to them and as they're doing this, you are completely turned around, alright? And you have the rest of the deck in your hand. As you're talking to the spectator, remember the number that they said is 11. What you're going to do is you're going to count the number that they said -1. So that's going to be 10, and you're going to count 10 cards from the bottom. So what I do is I just do it in groups of 3 because it's way easier that way. So I just go 3, 6, 9, and then 10. And then I get a little pinky break just like this, and I'm going to be holding this as I'm turned around just like this, all right? So I'm holding a little pinky break right above 10 cards down here. So now once they've done that, what you're going to do is you're going to turn back around holding this break. You're going to flip the pack over here, and you're going to show all the cards off to the spectator, but don't do it for too long. Just do it for kind of quickly so that they can like notice that their card is in there and they just see an array of other random cards among the thought of card over here. So before I teach you guys the packet switch, I should mention that you should not spread from left to right. You guys should spread the cards from right to left, just like this. That will make the move actually work. So once you spread the pack from right to left, you're going to place your finger here on the top card. You're going to pick up all the cards with this hand over here, just like this, and you're going to square them up. And you're going to take this pack and you're going to place it on top of the deck. Now what you're going to do, as you place it on top, you're going to square up the cards, and you're going to take all the cards from the break, set them down on the table, and you're going to take all these cards, which are just the 10 cards now, and you're going to spread these out on the table. And at full speed, if you do this with misdirection, it just looks like you're taking the pack, turning it over, and placing it down on the table. How you guys can misdirect this, there are a few ways that you guys can do this. So one is if you're doing this in a show setting. So if you're doing this like in front of a lot of people, you guys can do this move as you say, give the spectator a round of applause. They did a great job. And as they're giving the round of applause, that's sort of like a relaxing moment, and they're all clapping, they're paying attention to the spectator. That's a great moment for you guys to do this packet switch. It just looks like you're flipping over the pack and setting it down on the table. Another way you guys can do this is just simply by talking to the spectator, simply by like looking them in the eyes and just doing this move as you're looking at them. You guys can be like, so remember, you could have named any number, you could have picked any card, and you also shuffled the cards. So you're just talking to them and reminding them of everything that they just did. So all of these are great ways of misdirection. So you just do this as you're looking in the spectator's eyes. And this way, they will not be able to notice this packet switch. Trust me, guys, it really does work, and it really does fool people. Once you've switched out the packets just like this, you're going to take the rest of the deck and just give it a quick mix-up. This will just ensure that the card is not in the same position, it is not next to the other cards that it was just next to in the other packet. This will just make sure it gets lost in a random part of the deck. You're going to take the rest of the deck and you're going to place it inside of the box, and you're going to have the spectator hold on to the box just like this, all right? So they're holding onto the box, and now you have a packet of actually 10 cards over here, but they think there's still 11 cards. So you're going to hold it in your hand, and you're going to say, when I snap my fingers, the card that you're thinking of will disappear. You snap your fingers, and now you show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. Obviously, the card that they're thinking of is not going to be there. And also, you guys might be wondering, well, they're going to notice that all of these cards are all different cards. Well, if you guys spread out in the beginning, remember, when we do the spread from right to left, you should only hold this moment for about 3 seconds max, maybe 4. Because you don't want them to pay attention to all of the other cards. Most likely the spectator will remember some of the bigger value cards, like the face cards or like a 10s. So if you guys only show them this first part for about like 4 seconds maybe, and then when you do the packet switch, they will completely forget about the other cards inside of the packet. And now when you count out these 10 cards, all they're going to be focusing for is the card that they thought of, which is actually not going to be in here anyway. So it really does fool people, guys. So it really works. So now you only have 10 cards here. It seems like one card has vanished from here, and you're going to snap your fingers again, and you show the spectator that the card that they had picked is now inside of the deck. I literally just forgot what the card was that we picked. I don't even know if we picked one in the first place. I just have like... I honestly don't know what the card was. I'm super sorry. But as you guys can see, the card that they thought of will actually be in here. And now everything is completely examinable at this point. So remember, guys, this trick is all misdirection. I know you guys might have been a little bit mad just because you probably saw everything that I did in the performance. But trust me, guys, it's just because of the camera angle. If you guys were here in real life, I would be able to show you this trick correctly, and you guys would be much more happier. But go ahead, try this trick out on people. I promise you guys, this will actually fool people. So go ahead, try this trick out, and let me know how it goes. So hopefully you guys like this trick, and see you guys for my next video. Bye.